Okay, today we are going to do page 60. The figure shows the incomplete front and top views of two hexagonal pipes interpenetrate. Instructions: determine the following: the curve interpenetrating the front view, somewhere over here. Then the development of branch pipe C, complete the top view, and again I'm just going to add them, development of the main pipe. Okay, that's just that extra bit of work and knowledge. Okay, so the first thing is I'm going to draw my lines number 2 and 3. This is 1 and 4, 6 and 5 down towards my top view, and then we can see here that give us a space to do an auxiliary view. But the most important thing is here we must draw the hexagon in the correct at the correct angle. Okay, so I will show you now how to determine that. First thing is I'm quickly going to draw down these lines, 2 and 3, 1 and 4, and then 6 and 5. Okay, then going to take the measurement of one of these lines of my hexagon. Okay, now I must find out where is point number 1 going to be. Okay, the easiest way for me again, you just take a piece of paper that you found somewhere. I tore this off a previous drawing, an old drawing, and then I'm going to draw freehand a hexagon and number it the same: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm going to place it over this view. Okay, so I want to determine on this line, the one that's closest to me that I can see, is this line 1 or is this line number 4? Okay, so placing my two fingers on the paper and picking my paper up, we can see number 1 is coming closer to us, which means the line that we are going to see here is line number 1. Okay, so if this is the front view and I'm picking up line number 1, number 1 is going to be on this side, which means this point is going to be number 1. Okay, so that's where I'm going to start with my hexagon, my construction lines. Okay, we know number 1 and number 4 is on this line. Now we must determine, is it going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Okay, the easiest way for me is I know this line that I'm going to draw here is going to be line 2 and 6. This line is going to be 3 and 5, and that line is going to be number 4, and then this is going to be number 1. Okay, so looking at the lines I've already drawn down, number 2 and 3, when number 2 and 2 meets, that is point number 2. Where 3 and 3 meets, this is number 3. Then we have 4 and 4. We have 5 and 5. 6 and 6. And then lastly we have number 1. Okay, so here we can see the hexagon for the top view. So I'm quickly going to finish that first. Okay, then my top view. Now, to determine what numbering this is going to be, if we look at the top view, we can see the one that closest to the drawing is number 4, and that's at the back. Which means if I look at this one is going to be at the back. Number 3 and 2 is going to be closer to me, which means this is going to be 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, again, we can use this method. Looking at it in this way, we know number 1 and 4. So we just pick it up. 2 and 3 is further away, which means that is going to come up. If we do it in that way, it's not going to work because number 6 and 5 is not the one that's the closest that's staying on the paper if I open it. So this is another way to just find out how to number your auxiliary view. Okay, anyways, now we are going to see where line 2, 3, 1. Okay, so somewhere on line B, let's quickly just draw line B in. Somewhere on line B, something is happening. Okay, and that, let's call it thing that's happening, we are going to measure between number 2 and 3 is exactly on that line, and measure up until B. Okay, so taking this measurement and I'm marking it, and this I'm going to call B. Okay, then from number 3 up until number 4, 3 to number 4 straight line, 3 to 4 straight line, 4 to 5 straight line, 4 to 5 a straight line. Then between 5 and 6, B is happening again. So again, I'm going to take this measurement between 5 and 6, and I'm going to mark it. And again, I'm going to call that B. Draw a construction line. Okay. Then between 6 and 5, B is happening. So I'm going to take the measurement from 6 and 5, and I'm going to take this measurement up until B, and I'm going to mark it between 6 and 5 on line B and call it B. Okay, so 6 and 5 is sorted from 6 to 1, and 6 to 1 a straight line. Okay, so now we can draw in from number 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, B, 3, 4, 5, B, 6, and then number 1. Okay, now doing these lines, the cut lines, solid line. Okay, number 2 is a fold. Line 2, 2 is a fold. Line B, there's not a fold. It's on a straight piece of pipe. So I'm not going to draw that line a bit darker than the construction. I'm going to leave that construction. 3, 3, line 4, 4, 5, 5 again, leaving B, and then 6, 6. Okay, Now we are going to add that one more question, just for that bit of extra knowledge. I'm going to do my development of the main pipe. I'm going to set my start point here, calling that line A. Now I'm taking my measurement from my main pipe, from AA to B, C, D, E, F, back to A. So A, B, C, D, E, F, back to A. Okay. Firstly, I'm going to take number 2 and 3 and mark it. This is line 2 and 3. This is line 1 and 4. This is line 6 and 5. Okay. Now, if we start with number 1. Number 1 is between line A and B. So again, I'm going to tell myself the story. I'm putting my sharp edge on B and telling myself, on my way to A, I will find number 1. Okay, so I'm at B. On my way to line A, I will find number 1. So this is number 1. And then where line 1 and 1 meets one another, that is going to be point number 1. Then if we do number 2, again the story. Sharp edge on B. On my way to A, I find number 2. On my way to A, I find number 2. And that's actually going to be number 2 and number 6. So if I draw construction line up, I will find number 2 and as well as number 6. Then number 3, the story again. I'm at B, I'm moving towards C, and then I find number 3 and 5. I'm at B, on my way to C to find 3 and 5. Okay, so there is going to be number 5 and then number 3. And then lastly, from B on my way to C, finding number 4. I'm at B on my way to C, I will find number 4. And that's number 4. Okay, now we are going to do exactly the same as we did with this curve. From number 1 to number 2 is a straight line. Then I'm going to draw from number 1 towards number 2 is a straight line. Between number 2 and 3, between 2 and 3, B is happening again. Okay, now we can just take this measurement towards line B because B is happening there. So from number 2 towards number 3, crosses B. From 3 to number 4, 3 to number 4, and 3 to 4, straight line. Four to number 5, 4 to 5, and 4 to 5, straight line. Now again we have B that's happening. Between 5 and 6, B is happening. So then I'm just taking that B Now I can basically just complete my pipe development, my main pipe development.